Pat, I saw some analytics platform this morning said that the 35 points on 13 shots for Taurean Prince last night was the single most efficient scoring night in the history of the NBA.
I thought he got 36. It was 35. Did I misspell it? Did I
35 points
misread it?
on 13 shots.
13 shots, yes. And I think the 8 for 8 is the on threes is the second most ever without a miss. I think they said that
Wow.
last night. It was he hit that last one, and you're thinking to put the game away, and you're thinking there's no chance he can make this one. Boosh. The thing about him, he didn't have any rollers. They were all swish. It was amazing. Well, the Timberwolves the first half shot 71%. They were all, who played great offensively? Connolly.
He did.
Connolly was. I mean, they all played. They were fired up to beat my boy Tibbs. That was for sure. How many NBA teams have lost when one of their guys got 57? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that was. I mean, there was a stretch in the third. I think Randall had like 26 in the third quarter alone, and
Yeah,
he would dribble up. He would do a little crossover, step back, swish.
Yeah, he was. I think he was tired at the end. He lost his. He'd had the ball so much that he lost his shooting arm or something. But that was a hell of a game. It was great. I'm sad that my guy Tibbs lost, but what the hell? The guy, the other team shoots like that. They ended up at 61%, right? But they were 71% the first half. I think they shot.
I think both teams may have finished above. At one point late in the fourth, both teams were above 60% from the field and above 50% from three.
It was pretty amazing. It was a hell of a game. It was fun. I say the NBA this year's been fun. It's compared to college basketball, people want to say how great college basketball is still. I mean, the stuff these things can. The other thing is, and I was actually had the opportunity to listen to the Nets broadcast for a while last night, and
the Knicks or were you watching the Nets?
Knicks. I mean, excuse me,
yeah.
The Knicks broadcast, and they were dazzled by what they were watching, and they it was great ball game. It was, but. They were talking about how this is like the fourth or fifth time they've lost when the other team didn't have its best players because the other players come out and light it up.
Yeah.
I mean, Noel finally shows up for the first time, Nolan, in weeks too, and he came in and made some shots. And when you don't have Edwards, you really need him. But Judd and I were talking about this yesterday, though. Every time you say, boy, they're pretty good, they go in the outhouse.
Yes.
And every time you say they're dead, they got no chance, they win. So it's amazing. But Johnny K had a good piece on Cat, as Judd sent it to me, and Cat's ready to get turned loose any day now. So you think they'll play him when they get back home?
It could be tomorrow. That's a report from Shams is that Ant and Cat both could play against the Hawks Wednesday night at Target Center.
At Target Center, yeah. If he's going to come, he'll come back. He's got to come back tomorrow night, right? I mean, they can't.
They have 9 games left. Like
with all this
16 weeks.
I was saying that 3 weeks ago, Pat.
But with all this buildup, it has to be tomorrow night, right? So, but I suppose they can't come out and say that, and that people all get tickets because they want to. You know what's going to be disgusting? He's going to get a big roaring ovation when he comes back on the floor from these photos.
Why is that disgusting? Why?
They should boo him. They should boo him.
He loves basketball, Pat. He realized how much he loves the sport during his absence.
I hope they have a lion sound when he comes out there. The lion has finally been uncaged.
We should write that down.
But he's kind of saying that he's been wanting to play in the organization.
He told Johnny that he basically tore his calf off in January and had to go into a walking boot, and it was either amputation or something else to get. The calf injury was so bad in January. I don't believe anything this guy says. Okay.
So why these are rhetorical questions, but why? Okay, if it was that bad. Why
Yes.
did the team? Because it wasn't like Cat's agent that leaked to Woj. It's only going to be 4 to 6 weeks, right? So it was the
Yeah.
team. The team told Woj or whoever, Shams or Woj, 4 to
Yeah.
6 weeks.
Yes, but even that, now when we get to the end of January, he's trying to say that, and he probably did have a setback in January, but I doubt if the setback was as serious as he was trying to, they basically, I don't think that with a strain, you almost tear your calf off the bone, do you? I don't know what the hell, but he is so, I don't believe anything he tells me, says, so.
He loves drama, Pat. He's really
Oh,
good
he
at drama,
does.
though.
He does. Wouldn't it be, how he could really get off the hook though? If he comes back and tears his Achilles. And people then all of us
Oh,
who've
we'll
been
kill the
bashing,
Wolves then.
then all of us who've been bashing him will say, well, I guess we were wrong.
Well, do you think it's just kind of weird that he hasn't even been listed as questionable yet, that he would just go from being out indefinitely to playing against the Hawks?
Well,
But
it
do you think
might
that would
say
they bring him off the
questionable.
bench for 15 minutes, or they just
Yes, I think he's going to play Wednesday night. Doesn't he have to play Wednesday night? They'll make him questionable and he'll play 15 minutes. That's exactly what's going to happen. He can't. I mean, this cannot go on any longer, or put him on the shelf and don't have him play. As you say, 9 games remain, and you might as well find out now.
The
And although
annoying thing, Pat, is
who would you rather have? Who would you rather have? Who did you want to take out yesterday to put him in? Reed was great. Prince was fantastic. And, Rudy was okay playing. I don't think there was room for him last night, was there?
I think this is your next column for the Star Tribune here. Are the Wolves better without both Cat and Anthony
well,
Edwards?
and Kaprizov. The Wild scoring goals without Kaprizov. We don't need our stars in this town anymore.
That's right. That's right. I will say, in all seriousness, there's more depth in the NFL than there's ever been, because you watch all these games and these teams that are missing 2 of their players, they still have players. They still have players, and these guys have a pretty good bench. I mean, my guy Luka, we can't get Luka off the bench. Luka was a monster for like 3 games in a row, and then he can't play.
I think he's up against his two-way limit. I think
Is
that's
that what
what
it is?
I think.
Already?
They'd like to have him out there, but because of his contract, they have to be careful with the
Two-way
games
limit.
that he plays. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna be in a bidding war for Luka during this offseason. He'll be a free agent again, right? He'll have to be, right? So anyway.
Hey, what becomes of Nas when Cat comes back then? Like, what's Nas's role then?
He goes back. I mean, he'll have reduced minutes. I mean,
Maybe
Cat's going to eat
be-
into Nas. Cat's going to eat into Nas and Kyle Anderson minutes most likely.
Yes. Kyle Anderson, they were the Knicks telecast. They were good. They loved Kyle Anderson. They love the way he operates.
If you just watched him play, you'd be like, "What? Did they just like pull a dude from the athletic center down the street and give him is this like a Make-A-Wish or something?" He doesn't look like an NBA
refreshing. It was really refreshing to hear the Knicks telecast too, because I didn't have to hear slow-mo every time he got the ball. They actually used his name. It was fantastic. It was
what's wrong with slow-mo?
Well, slow-mo.
It's a quality nickname, Pat. It's a quality nickname.
I know it is, but you don't have to. You can use it once in a while. You don't have to use it. That doesn't have to become his total identification.
Does he? By the way, has anyone ran this by? Does Kyle Anderson approve of the nickname Slow Mo? Because you're kind of like making fun of the guy for being a little slow with his his motions.
He does things in a thoughtful manner, I think is what you're trying to say. But he is a good player. I had no idea he was that good a player. I mean, he had a couple of travels yesterday, and he makes some mistakes once in a while. But he's the only reason really that you can survive without Edwards, right? Because he can make the right plays and stuff like that. And he had Connolly all of a sudden the last week has made shots too, which is he hadn't done really all year. So I don't know. It was fun. It was a hell of a game.
Yeah.
And
now you look around too. It's kind of amazing. The Western Conference if they can just get in, is what I've been saying.
Yes.
If they can just get in, and it depends. Like if they have to go through the play-in gauntlet, it might be tough. But there's no team that they haven't beat in the Western Conference. Most teams they have the actual tiebreaker over, that they've won more games against the teams above them than they've lost. But they can easily go toe-to-toe and give someone a fight if they just get into a 7-game series.
In
That's the
all
crazy thing.
likelihood, though, they're going to be a 9 or 10, so they have to win 2 road games even to get into the playoffs. They have to go on the road and play. They got in last year by playing at home, right? But then they have a home game, right?
The Clippers.
Yep.
Yeah.
D'Angelo was great.
So, D'Angelo, anybody seen? Is he playing yet? He was hurt again. I know for the Lakers.
I think he's back now.
Yeah, he's doing fine. He's doing okay.
We might end up playing. Our boys might end up playing the Lakers in that first that playing game. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I think if it started right now, so the 7 and the 8 play each other, and then the winner is in, right, and then the loser of that game plays the winner of the 9-10. So the Wolves right now, the Wolves are tied with 3 teams for the 8, 9, 10, and I think the Wolves hold the tiebreaker because of they have the best conference record. That's the thing. The Wolves have the conference tiebreaker over a lot of these teams because they're 25 and 20. So they could win. It's probably going to be this. I think it's going to be the same thing as last year. They get like the 7 seed, and then they play a home game against the Mavericks.
You know damn well there's a good chance they're going to come in and get their ass kicked by the Hawks. They're going to have a 12-point. They're going to have a 12-point lead with 6 minutes to go and lose to the Hawks at home too. So there's a very good possibility of that. But unpredictability drives a lot of people crazy. But I like it. I think that's why we watch sports is that we don't know what's going to happen, and this team certainly takes care of that, don't they? The unpredictability of it is they definitely can handle that. So it's
I think the unpredictability is fine. I think it's the consistency that you would like to see a little bit more from the Wolves.
They
have an inability to have any consistency whatsoever.
Inconsistency. You like consistency, like the Gopher basketball team had. If you're
going to suck, yes, I actually do.
Consistency.
I'll tell you right now, if you're going to suck.
Why?
And if you're going to be...
Well, you'd rather the Wolves be a 10-win team than what they are right now? Is that what you're saying?
I would far rather see some form of consistency than the garbage.
You'd rather them be a 10-win team than what they are now?
Okay.
No first-round pick?
I would prefer... You know what? Then people get fired.
No one's getting fired this year.
This year.
What's your take? What is your take? Where are you going with
You're not listening. I said I want consistency. And if you're going to be a 10-win team, then people get fired.
Okay.
So you'd rather they win 10 games so everyone can be fired than get in as a 7 seed and have at least a shot.
I think this is fun, not knowing what the hell you're going to get when you go to the ball game. I think it's great. Hey, St. Thomas joined the major leagues yesterday. They had their freshman player stolen. He's probably going to go to Andrew Rhodey. He went into the transfer portal, got a 6'6" guard, and he was really good. He was the best guard in town. And he's going to supposedly go to Wisconsin. His dad played football there, and they were tampering all winter, apparently. And but he's a really dynamic player. I've seen him a couple of times. I don't know why you'd want to go there. Why, where they don't like dynamic. They like slog. They like slogging up and down the court, right? He should. I don't blame him for transferring, but he should go somewhere where they're going to run.
What will be the
Wisconsin?
What will be the more desirable program in 5 years? St. Thomas or the Gophers?
Well, St. Thomas, and there's a very good chance they'll be in the Big East. I know people tell me I'm crazy, but I think that's their ultimate goal, and I think the Big East would take this market second team in Minnesota, in the Twin Cities, and you got Omaha out here. You got Creighton, you got Butler, you got Marquette. You got kind of a western part of that, and I think people say, well, they go to St. Louis before they go there, and I don't think so. I think that they would like the size of this market and the lack of competition. There's not that not college-wise. There's it's you or the Gophers, and they get a 5,000 seat arena that's full. Probably be Well, it depends upon where the Gophers are in 5 years. But there's plenty of room for another Division One basketball program, and if they end up in the Big East, that'd be great. That's a great league, I think.
Wow.
That's that's people who know say that's was their ultimate goal. They're playing the Summit League. They're never gonna change in football. They can't afford to go into the Summit or into the Mo Valley with North Dakota State and those. And that's not only scholarships. That's having a new football stadium too. That place is a Division III. The Pioneer Football League, the non-scholarship Division One, is basically you can have a Division III stadium, but everybody's got mediocre, and you can, you get to go to the FCF playoffs if you win it in a couple of years, but they're going to stay right where they are in football, but they might get Big East in all their other sports. So I think Big East basketball will be fun to have around here. Put some pressure on it. But if I see that Gopher schedule next year and St. Thomas isn't on it, they're idiots, aren't they?
Well,
aren't they idiots?
The
have they not proven? Have they not proven that already?
Yeah, well, they have, but 10,000 people for don't bring in North Alabama and draw 3,200. It's ridiculous. They should play a couple of the South Dakotas, and they should play St. Thomas and draw some. You don't have to pay them much to come into play here, and you'll draw some people. It's idiotic. And guess what? Wouldn't have it been embarrassing this year if they'd played St. Thomas and lost? No. You were 2-17. You embarrassed yourself without any help from losing to St. Thomas. Okay,
it's a valid point,
idiots. If you're going to lose to St. Thomas, you're going to be non-competitive, and you won't fool anybody. You're going to continue to stick in the Big Ten. I'd like to take. I don't think this is Ben Johnson. I think it's Coyle. You'd like to grab him by the shirt someday and say, "What? You're 2-17. You're embarrassed. Okay, play St. Thomas. Draw 10,000 people."
Hopefully, Coyle was courtside for some of these NCAA tournament games. Hopefully, he asked somebody at one of these schools, one of these 2 seeds or 3 seeds. So, how do you raise $5 for NIL?
Yes, he's on the selection committee now. Coyle's on the selection committee. So that's interesting because he doesn't give a damn about basketball. But I think he made a good hire for the women's coach. So we'll find out. So maybe they can. Everybody's staying for her. Apparently, all the freshmen are staying, but there's probably no NIL money out there for him anyway. By the way, Indiana's women's team goes to number 1 seed. Goes down the tubes. Miami beat them both the men and the women's team. They knocked them both out, and apparently they got some real good NIL stuff going in basketball at Miami. They got some guy that they brought in this pair of twins from Fresno, who are apparently like the biggest thing on the internet, TikTok or something. What is their name?
They're
Calendar?
twins. Yeah, they're very good-looking twins, and yes, they have a lot of TikTok.
And one of them won the game against Indiana last night, so that'll be good for their TikTok audience. Or I don't know if it's TikTok or Instagram.
It's TikTok. Yeah, well, it's both.
TikTok.
It's both. Yeah, you can post the same short vertical video to both platforms.
We got a famous TikToker here too, Judd.
Judd.
Judd. You guys all TikTok.
All over the talk. Talk's great, Pat.
Hey, what's the other one? Twitch. What's Twitch?
Twitch is more of a like a live streaming platform that video game players like to.
They're going down the tubes apparently. I just saw a headline. They laid off 400 people today.
Ooh. Well, how many people do they have? That seems like a drop in the bucket for that company. Probably.
I don't know what Twitch is, but I thought it was like TikTok in a different form or something. So. No, but then I don't know what TikTok is either. So it's a funny.
You're missing out. You're missing out on TikTok. You love the TikTok.
But you've become, unbeknownst to you, a YouTube star all throughout these last couple years.
But he knows what YouTube is.
good. That's we love that, and yeah, YouTube. I love it. I mean, YouTube. You can get buried in that hole for
Oh yeah.
a year, as you start looking at that stuff. Yeah,
great.
So anyway.
All right, so
All right.
our
All
hoops
right,
teams, we're trying to figure it out. We're looking for some consistency, one way or the other.
Not
One
me.
way or the
Not
other.
me.
No, Pat loves the.
I like going. I'll have to go down there tomorrow to see if we're going to get the cat. Oh, by the way, did we talk about Gopher fans were upset that St. Cloud and Mankato were both in that region? What in hockey?
We
What
talked about
difference
it a
does
little
it
bit yesterday on
What
Unchained.
difference does it make?
Yeah, I agree.
You,
It doesn't
you
make
get
any
to play
difference.
Canisius in the first game,
Yeah,
and you play
get the
one of them in the
easiest
second.
draw in the world, and you got to beat one of your rivals to get to the Frozen Four. Oh, the horror, and that must be so
Beat St.
difficult
Cloud.
for Pride on Ice. Oh,
Monster
my
can
God,
beat
That's
St.
the
Cloud.
thing. Like, there's no tradition that I love more than Gopher hockey fans, and I was a
Yeah.
paying season ticket holder
Yeah.
for a long time. Sweating the draw. Like, if you're
Yeah.
really the top program in the country, just go win some
Just go
hockey
win.
games and win the
Yes.
freaking title.
Well, they're always out to get us. They're always out to get us. So,
Yeah.
all right,
All
gentlemen.
right, Pat. We'll
See you,
talk to you
Royce.
later.
See ya. Goodbye.
All right, Royce Unchained, Score North YouTube channel, and you can find Royce Unchained podcast feed, Apple, Spotify, anywhere you find podcasts.